Want to get creeped out? Let's talk about someone else who tried the man in the fields ritual. And by the way, if you don't know what the man in the fields ritual is, it's essentially where you summon this entity to stand in your backyard while you complete some tasks inside your house. And if you complete it within a certain amount of time, you either get physical safety for a whole year, physical and financial safety for a whole year, or physical and financial safety and no negative consequences for any of your actions for a whole year. So anyway, for storytelling purposes, we will name this person Cora. Cora decided she basically wanted to do the ritual for shits and giggles. She wanted to do the 3-hour version, which is the easiest one, to see if she could get physical safety for a year. I mean, the ritual says you'll go a year without even getting a paper cut. So stubbing your toe, not going to happen. Stepping on Lego barefoot, not going to happen. So at 9 o'clock, she went outside into her backyard and said, but who will scare the crows away? And she said it 7 times. And as soon as she said it the 7th time, she heard,
"That's not your biggest problem."
Scary. But this girl was a Virgo and I'm a Virgo, so I understand. She was meticulous. Actually, I don't understand. Sometimes I understand. She was meticulous and the bitch closed everything she needed to. She did not miss a single piece of Tupperware, any jars, the apps on her phone, a book laying open on the counter. She didn't miss anything. She had a really small house, so she was actually able to finish closing everything super quickly. By the way, that's what you have to do in the ritual. You have to close every single item in your house and you have to have a safe room with a crucifix in it because it's going to be bad news bears for you, probably if you fuck up. But like I said, she closed everything. She was done within about an hour and a half so that at that point, she was actually able to go around again and double check everything. And everything was closed in every drawer and every cupboard and every closet and every space of her house. Even the toilet seat, okay, guys? Even the drain and her sink and in her bathtub. Throughout the 3 hours, she does not look outside. She also doesn't see the ashen man, but she does keep seeing something out of the corner of her eye, and she's not sure if it's just her mind playing tricks on her or if it's the ashen man. At about 10 minutes left to midnight, she goes into her safe room with her crucifix and lays down in bed, closing her eyes and her mouth because you have to do that as well. Creepy. Now, the rules specifically say once you close your eyes, don't open them ever at all until morning. So at some point in the middle of the night, she has no idea what time because she couldn't open her eyes, but she could tell it was still very dark out. So she knew it was not morning. But at one point, she wakes up and thankfully remembers that she can't open her eyes, but she's hearing something and it's terrifying. She can hear footsteps walking back and forth outside of her bedroom door. She said that she thought she was literally going to shit the bed. Like, that's terrifying, guys. I would lose my mind. I would lose it. So creepy. She laid there with her eyes closed, sweating and terrified while she heard the steps going back and forth, back and forth. She doesn't know how long this went on for. She couldn't fall asleep while it was happening, but she thinks it was for about 5 or 10 minutes, nothing too crazy. However, it was, again, walking back and forth past her bedroom door, and then suddenly she heard the footsteps stop and it sounded close, like right near her bedroom door, and she was just holding her breath, laying there with her eyes closed, waiting to see if anything happened. Nothing happened. So eventually she fell back asleep. I don't know how. I would be laying there with my eyes closed until like 6 a.m, no joke. You know why? I'm a paranormal investigator and I love experiencing paranormal things, okay? But when you invite something to your home, an entity that specifically is known to you, if you fuck up your ritual, that's terrifying. That's not cool. That's not fun. I don't want to do that. Anyways, the next morning, she wakes up and she's like, okay, I think this ritual is real because there was something walking outside my bedroom door last night. And in her mind, she's like, I've got physical safety for a year. So score. Bob's your uncle. But it's only within a few days that things start to get weird. 3 days since she did the ritual, she's coming home from work, gets inside, and notices that every single drawer, cupboard, closet door, microwave door, everything in the house open. Why? She did the ritual properly. Who's coming back here? Who's coming to hang out? And why are they coming uninvited? Because they were invited the first time. Now they're not invited. Now they're not invited. So she closes all the cupboards, all the drawers, all the closets. The next day she comes home from work. And this is random. Of course, this girl had a locket because that's like such a creepy piece of jewelry. Like such a cool, creepy piece of jewelry. But anyway, she had a locket and it had a picture of her grandmother in it who had passed away. She always had it hanging on this little like jewelry tree that she had in her bedroom. She gets home from work. She goes into her bedroom. She's going to change out of her work clothes and notices that the locket is on the ground in the bedroom. And she's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I didn't do anything that would cause this to fall. I didn't even come near my jewelry this morning. I just put my shit on and went to work. Now, the day after the locket is found, she gets home from work and nothing is amiss, but she has this very strong feeling that she's being watched. Anywhere she goes in the house, she feels like there are eyes on her. And she does acknowledge that this could be paranoia, but she doesn't think it's paranoia because of what happens at night. At around 10:30 that night, Cora crawls into bed and decides she's going to read a book, try to get her mind off of things, try to calm herself down. So she's been reading her book for about 45 minutes when she hears, guess, walking in the hallway again. And she lives alone. The girl lives alone. The only pet she has is a fucking goldfish. So this is not normal for her to be hearing someone walking in her hallway. The footsteps are the exact same as the night she did the ritual. Back and forth, for about 10 minutes. It's time she can look at the clock because her eyes are open. But there's no sound of the footsteps stopping exactly in front of her door. And eventually the sound kind of just dissipates. So she's able to kind of convince herself that like, maybe I just imagined that, or maybe like I'm crazy and just super paranoid from doing the ritual. The next morning, Cora's heading out to work again. She goes out her back door to go walk to her garage where her car is parked. When she turns around to lock her back door, in the glass of the door, she sees a reflection of something behind her, a scarecrow. And obviously she is startled and whips around and nothing's there. Again, she's like, okay, I could be imagining this. The next day is a Saturday. Cora doesn't have work. She spends the morning watching TV, drinking coffee, and then starts doing a little afternoon clean. And the TV is off at this point. She's walking through her living room vacuuming when she sees in the reflection of the TV a scarecrow behind her. She whips around again, startled. Nothing's there. Cora is getting more and more freaked out. And that night, she doesn't sleep at all. The next day, which is Sunday, nothing happens. She has a really good day until she goes to bed. She walks into her bedroom, turns off the light, and goes to crawl into bed when she notices a reflection once again in her bedroom mirror, the scarecrow. This is when I would be seeking like spiritual help. I would like be going to anyone I know who knows anything about like spirituality, cleansing, healing, and I'd be like, help me. I fucked up because that's creepy. Anyways, this is Cora's final line of her story and it gives me chills. Every night since then, he's standing closer. I really hope Cora's doing okay. That's all I can say.